What's up, everybody? Welcome back to an all new episode of Slim the Streamer. Smash that like button, subscribe button. So, I'm going to give you guys my raw opinion on what it's like gaming in your 30s. Okay, now I'm in my 30s, so I'm going to give you my raw, true opinion, and maybe somebody out there who's also gaming in their 30s can relate, or even older, right? All right, so gaming in your 30s. Okay, it's weird, right? It's that weird point where you're fighting between nostalgia and responsibilities. So, and what I mean is, when you're, especially since me, I grew up in the late 90s, early 2000s, where the gaming aspect, where we had the Nintendo 64, the PlayStation, the first PlayStation, the PlayStation 2, the PlayStation 3, the Xbox. And during that point in time, we thought, man, that was peak gaming, where all the great games were out, Halo and all these other great games that you remember growing up. And you just had a bunch of, it wasn't no social media back then, so you just had your friends, your family, you all get together, you play games like WrestleMania 2000, WCW versus NWO Revenge on the Nintendo 64, games like 1080 that was out on the Nintendo 64. And we spent, especially me and my brothers, we spent hours and hours just locked up in the room and just playing nonstop games like, I remember my older brother playing games like Zelda and watching him play games. Him teaching me different games to play and new games to play. And oh man, it's just a golden moment at that point in time where you're just like, you remember those times when you remember that growing up, those nostalgia moments of video games. And then as you're aging and getting into adulthood, now you got responsibilities. You got work, you got family, you got, some of you guys may have kids and stuff like that. So now you're just, you're trying to hold on to that moment, but you're still looking at it differently because now you got work. And some days you just want to get off work, not be bothered, right? You just want to get off work. You may have a stressful day. You just want to get off work and just hop up in your basement or your secret room that you have, and you just want to lock yourself in and play your favorite video game, whether it's a VR game, whether it's a Xbox, whether you're a PlayStation, whether you have a gaming PC. You just want to just sometimes get away from the world and just jump into gaming and just start playing games. Back in the days, I'm going to be honest with you, especially I look back in it now. Back in the days, uh, if you're into video games, especially like in high school and stuff like that, back in my day, and I hate to sound like that guy, but it wasn't really cool. Girls at the time didn't like guys who played video games. They considered us as being nerds or weirdos, right? But now in the year 2025, everyone is a gamer. Because I don't know if the fact that you can now make money being a streamer and stuff like that, but everyone's a gamer. Everyone, you know, beautiful females. The roughest hardcore guy you thought that never got into gaming, he's now a gamer. And so gaming has just changed over the time and over the years, right? So as I look back at it now, man, I'm in my 30s now, and I still play these great games, right? I have a gaming channel. I still play games on my off time, even when I'm not recording. I still play my games. Um, Me and my brothers, we talk about gaming and stuff like that. So it still has that great position. But as you get older, you know, other things pique your interest as well. Not just gaming. You got other things. You got other hobbies outside of gaming that you do, right? So gaming is not a particularly the number one thing in your life. Again, you got other hobbies, you got a wife, you got kids, you got so much other responsibilities outside of gaming where sometimes you barely even have time to play the game. I know, like for last year, for example, man, I was working like 60, 70 hours a week every week. Plus my woman and all these other things. So I didn't have time to really hop in the game. But hopping in the video game gave me that release. It gave me that peace. You can have the worst day of your life and you just ready to get off work. You may be thinking about a game. You ready to go back and tackle. Like, you know what? When I get off work, I'm going to get off and go play Madden. I'm going to get off work and I'm going to go play NBA 2K25. I'm going to get off work and go play Grand Theft Auto. I'm just going to let off some steam and play Halo. I'm going to let off some steam and play whatever game that's out you want to play. And I think that's the important part of gaming, especially in your 30s or even older. I'm not, even a younger generation, right? And you can be stressed in your 20s and you can just want to get off work and just, I'm having such a rough day. My boss got on my nerves, I had this customer I had to deal with at this job, and oh my God, I'm working at a fast food restaurant, and these people get on my nerves, and all I want to do is just get off and just kick my feet back and relax and just throw on a video game and just release that stress. So that's where gaming is to me in my 30s. It's a stress reliever. It's still fun. It's still time where I can just get away and just jump in something and just escape reality for the moment, right? There's so many things going on in the world. There's so much chaos and construction going on in this world, man. And gaming is that stress reliever that you could just hop into and just forget about your problems. You could be going through the worst day of your life. You could be going through whatever you're going through, and you can just hop into that video game, and that just gives you a sigh of relief. It gives you that moment where you can just breathe. It gives you that moment where you can just say, you know what, things aren't so bad. Because something about having a bad day at work and getting off, closing that door, and just hopping into your favorite video game is nothing like it. It gives you that moment where you're just like, oh my God, this is what I need, right? It's better than a cigarette. It's better than drinking. It's better than, whatever, right? So it gives you that release, hopping in and grabbing that controller and just kicking your feet back and you're just going for it. And you're in that moment, you're intense, and you're playing your game, and you're on Call of Duty, and you're playing on Call of Duty, and you're fighting for your life, and it gives you that moment of relief, that moment of, oh my God, you know, it just gives you that certain moment of just relaxation. Even if it's a tense game and you're losing, even that losing, like at Call of Duty or whatever you're playing, or NBA 2K or NFL 2K25, even if you're losing, you still got that joy. You could just be going, oh God, you beat the crap out of somebody. Your fingers are just killing the controllers, but it gives you that, it releases that stress, man. So that's what gaming to me in my 30s is. It's a great stress reliever. It's still fun to play. It's even going back to the old nostalgic games. I can bring back those memories when I cut on WCW versus WWF Revenge or WWF WrestleMania 2000. It gives you that nostalgia moment of creating those characters and playing those games with your family members or friends. And that's what gaming to me in my 30s is like. I don't know what it's like for you, but let me know in the comments, what is gaming in your 30s is like for you. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Smash that like button and subscribe button. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.